Joining me on the line, he's going to be at the Horizon Events Center on March 19th, along with a little band named Firehouse. Ladies and gentlemen, CJ Snare is on the line. Hey, CJ, how you doing?
I'm doing well. Hey, everybody. How's it going out there?
Well, we're going to have some live music back in the Metro, so that's a good thing.
It was about a year ago that we actually played our last official Firehouse show on the tour. It was at a place called the Q Casino. We had been in Minnesota the night before, and we were on stage doing our sound check, and the governor called and said, nope, show's canceled. And we were just about to go on stage in Iowa the next night.
Really?
And the governor called and said, you have to cut your show down. This is right before we walked on stage. She said, you have to cut it down to 1 hour.
Oh, wow.
So that's what we did. And so that was basically our last official show on the tour. We did 3 shows throughout the course of the last year. So it's going to be our return, and it's going to be most triumphant. And I think people are chomping at the bit. I know we are, to get back to live music, face-to-face, all that energy from rock and roll. And it couldn't be a better place to end it and start it once again in Iowa.
There you go. CJ Snare joining me on the line right now. What did you do during the last year? What was going on with Firehouse? What was going on with you? How did you pass the year where no one was allowed to go do anything?
You know, it was kind of hard for us because our entire calendar for 2020 was filled. And we really got strung along. Yes, it was our Party of a Lifetime 30-year anniversary tour, which is still in effect, by the way. We were doing a little bit of a run-up to it because the release of our first CD was September 11th, 1990. So we are still within that 30-year period. What was happening was it would be April. It's like, okay, well, the shows in April just went away. Well, that's okay. We have the shows in May,
Yeah.
And then we'd get closer to those, and they'd say, oh, no, we're having to reschedule those. And it kind of went like that for a large part of the year. In the interim, I know that we were all doing some writing, and just kind of waiting to get back to do the live shows.
I'm just curious, where did you hold up shop for the last year? I mean, what's home for you? What city?
I'm in Orlando, Florida.
Orlando? Okay, so.
Yeah, I mean, we were still able to go out and take walks even in the middle of the winter and stuff, albeit with a mask and whatever, laws or things that were imposed upon us. Right at the beginning, though, about this time last year, it was an extreme lockdown. Everybody's staying in their house and couldn't get toilet paper and all that stuff. It was the same for us as it was everyone else.
It is weird that it has been a year, right?
Oh, man, it's insane.
I mean, I think everybody's had this conversation at some point or another, but for like you, everything changed when the governor calls. Everybody else, it's like, oh, the toilet paper's gone. So it's weird.
It affected a lot of businesses, especially like in travel and hospitality, entertainment. And I live in a city, Orlando, where a lot of people work at Disney or the airlines. There's a lot of traffic that comes in and out of here. And so this area was greatly affected by it. However, I would say that they began opening it up sooner too. The governor here in Florida had a lot of people coming, and it's so weird. I was looking at my flight information and everything, and it's like, oh, I'm getting back on an airplane. And you're talking about a guy who flies between 150 and 200,000 miles a year. And it only took 1 year to scare everybody into wearing the masks. I mean, there's jurisprudence as well, but, it's now when I used to be right in the middle of people and everything like that. And I'm sure everybody has this to varying degrees. It's like, okay, I feel a little bit weird about going out here, or, you kind of have to ease back into it.
Absolutely.
Of course, that's what we want.
I haven't been to a restaurant to sit down in a year, CJ.
Is that right?
Yeah,
wow.
I mean, and the only reason I remember it is because my son, his birthday is March 6th. We went out to eat for his birthday that night last year, and then everything pretty much shut down. But that's neither here nor there. That's the past. The future's coming up. March 19th, you guys are going to be in town. What's it like to be able to plan out and know that you have shows coming up? I mean, are you excited? Is it like the first time again? What's going through your head?
I am very excited. I just want to go back. I thought I heard you say your son's birthday is March 6th.
Yes, sir.
And my son's birthday is March 6th too, which we just celebrated this past, few days here or weeks,
How old?
So that's cool. That's the one. He just became a teenager. He's 13.
Oh,
How about
back
you?
talk?
What's that?
Does he give you a lot of back talk or anything? Or
Oh, no. He's pretty calm. He's pretty cool. I did notice I listened to a voicemail, an old voicemail I had, like from 6 months ago.
yeah.
And his voice has dropped like an octave now, Hey, Dad. I'm like, oh, wow. But anyway, does it feel like the first time again? No, it doesn't. I'm actually really excited, and we're excited to get to this show too. And I want people to know that you are still going to be included because we haven't hit that September mark yet. You are going to be the Party of a Lifetime tour, celebrating the 30-year anniversary of the release of our first CD. And what we're doing, especially for that, is we're going to play our first CD in its entirety, in its running order, and then we'll come back and we'll play the other hits and the stuff. We won't leave anything on the table there. We'll leave it all on the stage.
It has to be interesting because, I mean, especially when you do a tour like this, when you're going back to the first album, the rest of the night, I mean, how do you pick out? I mean, is it just, hey, let's go out and just play the songs that, got us here? Or is it the one that it's like, you know what? I think this song deserves a little bit more push tonight. I mean, how do you come up with that track list of the other stuff to add into a show like this?
Well, because there are some deeper tracks on the first album, which is multi-platinum, so a lot of people are familiar with some of the deeper cuts, but others aren't. And we always keep that in mind, too, that, there were several hits, thank goodness, on the first record, and some people are probably going to recognize those. I mean, Don't Treat Me Bad is a song that's like number 4 on the record. We would normally save that to the end of a show. And The Love of a Lifetime is next to last on that record, and, that comes later. All She Wrote is like second into the set. For anyone who knows these, anyway, they were hits for us back in the early 90s. So what we've done is we don't want to leave people wanting, for the next time around. So we've chosen the hits from our subsequent albums too. So we're going to play, When I Look Into Your Eyes from Hold Your Fire and Reach for the Sky and things like that in our little, once we break, because it's about an hour to play that first record. And then we'll come back and finish it out and that's how we choose it. It's the hits.
When you are doing the hit stuff, is there... this sounds so goofy, but is there any ever arguments in the band where it's like, no, I want to play this song, and everybody's like, it wasn't really, it's the one you want to play.
Absolutely. Yeah, there's always disagreement. I mean, there's ones that we absolutely have to play that, I think we tried to not do Love of a Lifetime one time, and that didn't go down well. So, it's like we are obligated to perform the songs that people know us by, but there are some lesser hits. I mean, we have a song called Sleeping With You that I think went to number 60 on the Billboard Hot 100. It's still a chart song there, and when we go to Southeast Asia and other places, other countries where that's like a super big hit, we do have to play it then. But here in America, it's like, okay, well, that one went to 60. So should we play it? And we deliberate about it. It's like, come on, we got to do it. Or a lot of times it'll be a promoter will specifically request it. Something like that. And we're like, okay, we'll do it,
All right, CJ, let me ask you this. Who in the band is most likely to argue about a song?
What I just have to say, the least likely to argue about any song would be our bass player, Alan McKenzie, because he'll play anything.
Well, that's every bass player, though. They don't argue. They barely talk.
Right. Well, yeah, okay. Case in point. But he'll just kind of say, yeah, sure. Other 3 of us, Michael Foster, the drummer, Bill Leverty, the guitar player, CJ Snare, myself, the singer, and keyboard player, we'll be the ones. We argue because, we're like, no, I want to do this song because it, for whatever reason. And then the other guys will, including myself, will give the reasons why not. And it's always amicable, and we end up having fun at the end of the night. And that's what really matters.
I think that's, what, though, this is one of those sides of, going out and performing that I find interesting because I don't think people think about that side of it, of just trying to come up with a playlist,
Yeah. And it's difficult too, because we have to try and keep our show fresh.
Yes.
And make something different. What can we change about this?
Okay.
That's what the first album in its entirety, in its running order, that's a little something new and something different. And those are for the people who come to see Firehouse, semi-quasi on a regular basis, let's say. we will have to do something to try and keep it fresh. Throw in another track. We've done some little, what do you call it when you put two songs, mashups of two songs together. We segue them, or we'll make a little medley of tunes. We do different sorts of breakdowns, or we might do something acoustically where it's normally an electric song. These are the kind of things that we as artists have to think about in a way to structure it so that you'll come back, so that you don't see the same show every time. And after the third time, you're like, I'm done. I don't need to see that anymore.
I've seen Firehouse. I don't need to go back. No, I completely get it. CJ Snare from Firehouse joining me on the line right now. Going to be a part of the show. March 19th, Horizon Event Center. You can get all the information at firehousemusic.com. CJ, as you look forward to the year 2021, you got some tour dates coming up. What else is going to be going on for you guys?
We're waiting to see how things really open up, because we're still being strung along, as I explained earlier in our conversation. A lot of things that were in 2020 were moved to 2021. And this is really the beginning. I know that Iowa and Mississippi and Texas have, they're opening up a little more quickly than some of the others. So we're able to come to you guys because of this. Some of the other states are a little slower to follow suit. And as the numbers continue to go down with COVID and the vaccines are rolling out and all this good stuff starts happening and things start opening back up. We were one of the first things to get cut, and we'll definitely be one of the last things to get added back. And I'm not saying that as a bummer. It just is what it is. This was a black swan that took everybody in the world by surprise. No one saw it coming. And so we just kind of have to, we're hanging on. We're staying practiced, rehearsed, and we are waiting in the wings, ready to go at any moment's notice.
Awesome. Well, CJ, we look forward to seeing you over at Horizons on the 19th. We'll leave it at that. Thank you so much. We'll have the information at the bottom of the page, and tell your boy happy birthday from me, okay?
Yeah, and same to you. What's your son's name?
Jace.
Jace. And how old is Jace?
Just turned 6.
6. Well, I remember that age. That was really cool. I have another one who's 9. He's going to be turning 10, well, obviously, in July. So he's going to double digits. So now I'll have a teenager and double digits. And then I have a daughter, too, who just got married at 28 years old. Wow. A bit of a gap there. I gave her away. Well, I didn't give her away. I walked her down the aisle about 4 weeks ago.
Oh, wow. So you're going to be in the neighborhood of grandbabies.
Well, yeah. She's like, Dad, come on, I want to have a family, So, yeah, in a year or two.
We'll let you get going, CJ. And we look forward to the show, okay, man?
Yeah, thanks, Adam. I really appreciate it. Thanks, Adam.